if you're in a win now window and you need win now wide receiver trade targets, you've come to the right place. We're going to give you 2 each wide receivers that if we feel like we can win a championship next year, we're going to try and go get some trades done for these guys. Number 1 for me is Odell Beckham Jr. Okay.
OBJ.
Couple reasons why. Was traded to LA in week 10, had the bye in week 11, and he didn't really play in week 10. So I'm going to look at his stats from week 12 onwards.
Right.
In that time period, he was the wide receiver 22 in PPR formats. So I'm thinking if you need a wide receiver 2, that's your only weak spot, or maybe you need a flex, that's your only weak spot, OBJ could be the guy to put you over the top next year. Scored a touchdown in 5 of the last 7 games of the season. Okay.
Right.
In 2.5 years in Cleveland, he had 7 touchdowns. In 2.5 years,
Sheesh.
7 touchdowns in Cleveland. And in the last 7, he puts up 5 here in LA. Outside of Cleveland, OBJ has always produced, genuinely always produced. And that's what you're looking for. Guys who have proven production. That's what you want on your team in a win now window.
Right.
And the connection with Stafford that is continually going. I know that he's a free agent, but we talked about this. I think he's going to be back. I think he's going to be back.
I think
in LA.
so as well.
He wants to live that lifestyle, and
His home's
he's
there.
29 years old, so it's not as if another team's going to put up big money for him. He wants to be in LA and live that lifestyle. So I imagine he's back, which means he's going to be connected to a good quarterback in Matthew Stafford. And while there's probably only 1 to 2 years of top 24 production left, if you're in that window, it's worth it. It's worth making the trade to get someone who can put you over the top. And if you win a championship, you win a championship. For me, a fair price to pay, a late 22 second rounder or an early third. I think both of those could get the deal done for an OBJ. Look, if I am trying to buy OBJ, I'm telling the owner, hey, he's 29. He's going to be 30 soon.
Exactly.
He's a free agent. There's no long-term contract. You can keep pushing his value down and down. And I do think an early third should get the job done. You think about it, an early third is like the 22nd to 30th best rookie in this year's draft.
Yeah.
What are the chances you hit on that?
It's a bit
Pretty
of a risky
low.
play. OBJ, I mean, if he doesn't re-sign, it's a bit risky. But hey, I think
It is risky,
it's worth it.
but I think a late second, early third, I throw those around like candy. I mean, like Oprah, you get a second, you get a third. Like, I'll get the job done. Who's your first win now wide receiver that you're trading for?
My first win now wide receiver is Chris Godwin. And look, for me, in my opinion, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Chris Godwin is still only 25 years old. And you get an extreme talent, in my personal opinion.
It's crazy that he's 25. That blows my mind.
He's still so young. Look, let's go back to 2019 when he had his best season. He was finished wide receiver 2, over 1,300 yards on the ground, in the air, and 9 touchdowns. And that was with Jameis Winston. That wasn't with anyone special. Okay. And I think we can see that he can play with a good quarterback or the best quarterback in Tom Brady and a bad quarterback in Jameis Winston. But hey, look, technically, in my personal opinion, I love Chris Godwin moving forward. We see plenty of wide receivers coming off of that ACL tear. Obviously, I know everyone's concerned. What about this ACL? Is he going to come back in time? There's plenty of people coming back. And let me remind you, Cooper Kupp, who was wide receiver 1 this year, tore his ACL. Okay, so there's no concern of, in my personal opinion, come back with ACL. And technology is growing, like
science.
There's no need. Yeah, there's no need. ACL is like, it's like
shout out to science.
Yeah, look, Chris Godwin once again is going to be a free agent in this coming year, and it's a little bit up and down. Where's he going to go? What team he's going to go to? Is he going to stay in Tampa? There's a lot of question marks, but once again,
surely.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The youth and the talent will surpass no matter where he goes. And you're probably wondering, what's the fair price? I think for me, it's still a first round, mid-first round. You still get extreme talent. The youth is there, but I like to throw in packages. I know I'm a package guy. I don't want just a first round. I want a player. So I think of people. Hey,
you love a good package.
Yeah, let's say I have a Myles Gaskin on my team. Hey, I'll give you Myles Gaskin in the first. He's still a young running back. Who knows where he's going to go? Maybe a Chris Carson. It's a little bit riskier. We don't know where he's going to go. Even a Jamal Williams, you need a backup. Maybe you can sell him to the Deontay Swift guy if Deontay Swift owner that wants a running back backup. So a mid-first, a 2022 mid-first, and a little small piece for Chris Godwin, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I love it. I think Chris Godwin is a great buy. And because of the injury, it's opened up a window for you to buy. And I don't know if you said this, but think about when Cooper Kupp tore his ACL, came back, was great in the next year. My last trade for win now wide receiver, is Calvin Ridley. Reasons why. Look, if I'm in a win now window, I'm looking for players who have shown that they can produce big numbers. Calvin Ridley, in his first 3 years in the NFL, 217 receptions on 328 targets, over 3,000 receiving yards, and 26 touchdowns in his first 3 years in the NFL. Look, last year took some time away for mental health reasons. I actually really, really respect that he was able to do that. I think he was the first one to actually step away from the game for mental health reasons. I really, really respect that. Next year, super unclear. Okay. Last year of his rookie deal, and it looks like he's probably out of Atlanta. There's a couple teams that I have put together of teams that I could see him being traded to.
Right.
Maybe the Patriots. You think about the Raiders, the Cardinals, Bills, Chiefs. Could you imagine him in Chiefs? Maybe Green Bay if Aaron Rodgers stays, and Jacksonville. I think if he goes to Jacksonville, I think no one's talking about this, but he might not want to go there, but I think it could be great for him and Trevor Lawrence. That connection would be beautiful in Jacksonville.
Please don't go there.
Regardless, anywhere that he goes, I think we've seen that he can produce with a mid to above average type quarterback in Matt Ryan. And in Dynasty, I'm betting on talent over situation. I'm going to continually preach this. We have seen him produce elite numbers. So let's talk about what is a fair price to pay for Calvin. And honestly, right now, this is a perfect time to buy because there is so much uncertainty. You didn't see him play. He's kind of got that nasty taste in people's mouths. But a late first in this year's draft, I think gets the job done. So the 1.09 and above in this year's draft, if I'm a win now team, I'm pulling the trigger. Or if you want to trade away a younger player who hasn't proven, as much, maybe they're not on your same timeline of Rashad Bateman, a Kadarius Toney, a Darnell Mooney, a Rondale Moore, those guys who haven't exactly proven that they are elite players yet, but have upside, and maybe you could trade that to a more futuristic team. For Calvin Ridley. Who's your last wide receiver that you're buying in a win now mode?
I love the Calvin Ridley take, by the way. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, my second wide receiver that you should be trading for is Allen Robinson, 28 years old. And look, in 2021, it was terrible. It was awful. It was really bad. I think he was awarded Bust of the Year in like all fantasy perspectives.
Everyone in fantasy is
fantasy
world. This guy.
Yeah, it's bad. Look, he only saw 66 targets this past year. He wasn't part of the game plan. He was not part of the game plan. He did miss 5 games, but when he was on the field, who was Allen Robinson? That's what they were saying in the Bears locker room. Okay,
yeah.
In 2020, this is where he kind of took off. Let's go back then. Wide receiver 9, over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. He was third in targets behind Stephon Diggs and D-Hop. And that was with Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
It wasn't with the competent quarterbacks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But now he gets Justin Fields. And it's kind of the same thing with Calvin Ridley. Where is he going to go? What's going to happen? He's technically a free agent this year. I personally believe he should stay at the Bears. I don't know what you think.
Way.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I think the connection with Justin Fields should continue if he does continue to grow. But all those teams that you named, New England, Vegas, Arizona, Buffalo, the Chiefs, I mean, those are all competent teams that have a lot better quarterbacks, or not all of them, not Vegas, in my opinion, but most of them have better quarterbacks than Justin Fields. Look, he's a top 12 talent, in my opinion, when he's on the field, when he gets targets, and he's going to continue to produce. So
can I just say quickly though, I don't think he should stay in Chicago because I think it's obvious he didn't want to be there this year. We knew that because we talked to him.
Hey,
right? We had a conversation with him. He didn't want to be in Chicago, and they franchise tagged him. I think he's got to get out of there. You need a good mental health space to produce on the field. Maybe. So if he stays, I'm very, very worried.
Yeah, I mean,
but if he leaves, there's so much hope. Only 28 years old. I still think there's like 3 years of elite production left potentially if it's the right situation.
Yeah, only reason I would say he should stay is because there's a new GM and a new head coach coming in. It's a fresh start for everyone, in my opinion. But I agree. Maybe he does.
But he's not even the one there. Like Mooney would be the one there.
Exactly. So look, you're talking about a fair price. For me, it's a mid 2022 second. I don't think I would be giving a first for Allen Robinson right now. He's 28 years old. He probably has another. If he does go to the right team, if he does get the workload, maybe another 3-4 years. But there's a lot of question marks with Allen Robinson, even where he's going to go.
Agreed.
So I think if he goes to a top caliber offense, maybe a late first, maybe. but it has to be a mid-second.
A second should get the job done, though, personally. All right, guys. Those are our Dynasty win now wide receiver trade targets. Comment down below if you have any questions for us.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.